my name is Allison Gallaspy. I'm from the University of Louisiana at Lafayette in Lafayette, Louisiana. Today I'm going to read Fun Home by Allison Bechdel. And I chose this book because it's one of my contemporary favorites, and it deals with themes of family and loss, as well as sexuality and self-acceptance. And the part I'm going to read starts talking about her working in the funeral home with her dad. She says, "I didn't normally see the bodies before they were dressed and in a casket, but one day Dad called me back there. The man on the prep table was bearded and fleshy, jarringly unlike Dad's usual traffic of desiccated old people. The strange pile of his genitals was shocking, but what really got my attention was his chest, split open to a dark red cave. There was some practical exchange with my father, during which I studiously betrayed no emotion. 'Hand me those scissors over by the sink.' It felt like a test. Maybe this was the same offhanded way his own notoriously cold father had shown him his first cadaver. Or maybe he felt that he'd become too inured to death and was hoping to elicit from me an expression of the natural horror he was no longer capable of. Or maybe he just needed the scissors. Is that all? I have made use of the former technique myself, however, this attempt to access emotion vicariously. For years after my father's death, when the subject of parents came up in conversation, I would relate the information in a flat, matter-of-fact tone. 'My dad's dead. He jumped in front of a truck.' Eager to detect in my listener the flinch of grief that eluded me. The emotion I had suppressed for the gaping cadaver seemed to stay suppressed, even when it was Dad himself on the table. As I told my girlfriend what had happened, I cried quite genuinely for about 2 minutes, and that was all. Joan drove home with me, and we arrived that evening. My little brother John and I greeted each other with ghastly, uncontrollable grins. It could be argued that death is inherently absurd, and that grinning is not necessarily an inappropriate response. I mean absurd in the sense of ridiculous, unreasonable. One second a person is there, the next they're not. I suspect that for my father, death was all too convincing. In his letters he sent me at college, sometimes he seemed the perfect absurd hero, Sisyphus shouldering his boulder with detached joy. Other times he was despairing. I don't have any letters about the suicides he dealt with, like the local doctor who shot himself a few months before Dad's own death. But you would think that long nights employed in the scut work of the flesh would make anyone reconsider the logic of not postponing the inevitable."